This week, we're in the charming Alaskan town of Ketchikan. Known as the salmon capital of the world, it's one of the most colourful ports of the Inside Passage. And here's the best part, instead of paying sky-high ship excursion prices, we're exploring Ketchikan on a budget. We're going to show you exactly how to make the most of your day in port without breaking the bank. From its iconic Creek Street and Salmon Run.
Apparently, back in the 20s, Creek Street was called the worst pest hole in America.
To an action-packed lumberjack show, we've got you covered. And stick around to the end because we're going to show you where to get the best fish and chips we've ever tasted.
Did tell them that this was the best fish and chips we've ever tasted.
Welcome to Ketchikan, the first stop on our Alaskan cruise.
Today, we're going to be exploring Ketchikan on a budget.
Where's our first stop, Tanya?
Some salmon bridge to look at salmon. Salmon ladder observation. I'll put the map right here.
Behind us is the salmon ladder in Ketchikan.
Not an actual
Ladder. When salmon spawn in the river, they go out to sea to mature, and then when they're ready to spawn again, they swim back upriver to where they were born, and they need to use this salmon ladder to get past the rapids.
It's pretty rapid.
Yeah, and once they've spawned, they die. Hence why it smells a bit like dead fish around here at the moment.
There's a few dead
Carcasses,
fish.
yeah.
So it's a very easy walk from where our ship docked. It was what?
Less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes, and it's reasonably flat.
Yeah.
Easy walk. There's a little viewing platform up here. You can probably hear the water rapids behind us. The season for salmon, you might see them, is May to September. We've been in Ketchikan right at the start of May, and we're in Ketchikan now right at the end of September. We can see a few dead salmon, but we can't see any salmon doing their special run.
Swim, yeah.
But it's worth coming up to see. We were looking in the creek. The salmon aren't in the creek. The salmon are, funnily enough, in the ladder that's built to help them
get upstream.
Funny that.
Look like they're getting to the end of their lives. They're looking a bit battered, aren't they?
For some reason in my head I thought they'd be pink.
So what's your theory of why the fish are dying?
Because it's bloody hard work swimming against that current. They're dying of exhaustion.
Not only do they have to swim upriver, they've also got to reproduce as well at the end. Imagine how knackered they'd be then.
Oh, there's a seal in the creek. No wonder there's no fish down here. He must be eating them all.
He was just flipping his tail up then.
He's coming up and going down and coming up and going down.
Probably getting a free feed of all the fish that are not quite dead yet.
A short walk down from Salmon Landing along a very picturesque boardwalk is Creek Street.
Creek Street was renowned for being a red light district and the hub for smuggling during the Prohibition era.
In the 1950s, prostitution was outlawed, so those brothels had to shut down.
And now it's a series of shops and galleries for tourists.
Apparently, back in the 20s, Creek Street was called the worst pest hole in America. Not a pest hole anymore.
No.
The gift shops are very, very cute and full of very eclectic things, but they're very expensive. I Can't even say what it's called. I'm just going to have to show you. I don't think I need body scrub. Elbow grease.
Ah, right.
Do you need to grease up your elbows?
No. If you're having trouble down south, there is some baby bear butt balm, and it's for chasing away even the most stubborn of chapped rumps. There's a shop here that sells wooden jigsaws, and I have a bit of an admission to make. Everybody at work, if you're looking for the jigsaw, here it is. See you in February.
Did you take a piece of their jigsaw puzzle and you're not
No,
going...
I didn't. I was given a piece of their jigsaw puzzle, but I'm not going to dob on who gave it to me.
Oh, that is horrible.
And it's a corner piece, and there was the next jigsaw to be made at work. So, sorry, guys. Not sorry.
Towards the end of Creek Street is the famous Dolly's house.
So Dolly was one of the working ladies of Creek Street, and she plied her trade here through to about 1946, I think it said, but lived in the house until 1973 when she had to move into a care home due to failing eyesight.
You can go in and do a tour of Dolly's house. Apparently it's historic. If you've been there and done that, you can put in the comments what we've missed out on.
Behind us we've got a totem pole. If you want to see some proper totem history, there is the Totem Heritage Park in Ketchikan that you can visit. We went there last time. It's probably a 10 or 15 minute walk from the cruise terminal.
And it's $6 for an adult enter, cheaper if you're a senior or a child, and it's free if you're in the military, probably the US military.
I would say so. Definitely worth a visit. It was great last time we went. There's some very old totem poles there. It tells you a lot of the history.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting around the native people of this land. It wouldn't be Tanya and Simon without a snack.
Our morning coffee stop / hot chocolate stop is at Polar Treats.
I got a Mexican hot cocoa.
And I got a latte.
And we got what the Americans call a blueberry scone. I don't know, it's not the same as an Australian or British scone. It's more like a cakey cookie. Did you see how I let him go first this time?
It's definitely not a British style scone, that's for sure. It's edible. It's good. Lots of blueberries.
I don't have words, it's unusual. It's very simple.
What's good?
Well, they're all pretty good. So we do 5 in a flight.
Yep.
All but that very bottom one, the Dimension B, are available for flights.
The Strange Alt beer.
Oh, got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I actually dislike beer. I know. He just pulled a face at me.
Yeah.
So Simon has the tasting flight. It was $15 plus all the taxi stuff they add on. I think it ended up
$16.30.
Yeah, something like that.
Absolution, which is an Abbey style ale. Again, not sure what that means, but
I'm going to predict right now, I'm not going to like it.
You definitely will not like it.
Because it's brown and disgusting.
Quite chocolatey.
Oh,
So in Tanya's world, none of those were any good.
oh, no.
Oh, well.
I think he has to drink this, and then we need to go and get some fish and chips.
Yes.
In 2017, we had lunch here, and it was the best fish and chips I have had anywhere across the world in my entire life. But it was absolutely delicious. I had halibut. I'm a little bit tight-ass Tanya's kicking in that you can, the smallest fish and chips that you can get with halibut is $32 US, which is
Probably.
that's 50 Australian dollars.
It's probably a bit more than that.
Holy crap.
It's probably more like 55.
But Simon just had beers,
Yep.
so I'm going to have
the fish and chips. And I tell you what, if it's not as good as I remember, you're going to hear about it for the rest of the video.
I'll be hearing about it for the rest of the cruise. We've got some hangers on for lunch now, Tanya.
I know, but Mum paid for the halibut. That's called winning. So you know how I complained that it was 50 Australian dollars?
It's even more now.
I know, how good is my mum? Did tell them that this was the best fish and chips we've ever tasted. I'm a little bit scared it's going to let me down. The chips are as good as I remember. Good chips?
Good chips.
I probably could have eaten 2 of these myself. Okay, delicious, okay.
I'm having the fish of the land, which is a beef burger. So I didn't get any video of it, but we were just in the gift shop, and what happened?
I bought myself a beanie. I'm not going to include that in the cost
Why
of our
not?
day in Ketchikan because other people...
A beanie's for life, not just for a day.
Other people would have been smart enough to pack a beanie. I have to wear this on the aeroplane because I don't have any more space left in my luggage.
Where are we off to now, hon?
The Lumberjack Show. We're back on board.
So what did you think of the Lumberjack Show?
I actually really liked it. I thought it was quite entertaining.
I thought it was a little bit corny, but it was entertaining, and there was a lot of interesting facts that they told us about lumberjacking.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult profession. You weren't allowed video in there, so we actually did follow their instructions and took lots of photos. So I found all the facts and the history and all of that. I found it really quite interesting.
Yeah.
And there were a few kind of lame jokes in there, but it was still good.
It cost us how much?
The equivalent to 140 Australian dollars. It was 93 US dollars. We could have bought the tickets on the cruise ship, could have got them actually a little bit cheaper with our loyalty status, but it was a last minute decision. We weren't sure whether we were going to go. I don't mind having spent that price. I thought that was the only big expense that we really had today on any of the entertainment that we did. So let's give a rundown of the total cost of the day. As we said earlier, shore excursions are really quite expensive in the Alaskan ports. So we're trying to see what can we achieve for a lower price. So all up, what did we spend? We spent, the equivalent to $140 for the 2 of us for the Lumberjack Show. We stopped in and had hot drinks each and shared that scone. It was 26 Australian dollars. Simon's beer flight at the brewery was roughly $24, and lunch is hard to actually calculate because my mum very generously bought the fish and chips, but I bought Simon's burger and then water for all the family, and that was the equivalent of $40. And then I bought this very beautiful and warm beanie that, yes, I am wearing in the cabin with my dressing gown because I'm trying to warm up. It wasn't the most expensive of days. I'd say 200 Australian, 250 Australian dollars. You could get away with just visiting Creek Street, where the salmon walk
And the salmon ladder.
and around the town. All of that is free if you don't want to spend a single cent, and you could get back on the ship, have your lunch and then get back off. But that's what it cost us.
Definitely not a bad day, and really pretty town to visit, so definitely worthwhile
it's absolutely
visiting.
Beautiful. Next video, we will be in
Juneau.
Let's see what we can find to do in Juneau on a budget. And yes, we have been to Juneau before. Don't forget to like this video.
And we will see you soon. Take care.
See ya. Next week, we're in Juneau. the only US state capital you can't reach by road. You either fly in or arrive just like we did by cruise ship. We're avoiding those costly ship excursions and exploring this unforgettable cruise port on our own. We visit the legendary Mendenhall Glacier and marvel at 3,000 years of Mother Nature at her best. We swing open the sawdust-covered doors of the Red Dock Saloon for a quirky and unforgettable lunch experience. Of course, Simon had to try the famous duck fart. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you're about to hear about it.
Are you drinking, Tanya?
Diet Coke. I don't drink farts. And to finish the day, we head 1,800 feet up Mount Roberts for jaw-dropping views over Juneau. If you're looking for an unforgettable Juneau port day without blowing the budget, we've got you covered.